what I plan to do today is show you how to do cutouts. I've got a board already covered in sugar paste, and I've got a sharp knife and a paintbrush, a little bit of water to stick things down with, and a selection of cutters. Okay, so I've rolled out my paste. Now I've got paste of varying size, thicknesses. So this here is my thicker paste, and this is my base to my cutout, and anything that goes on top is thinner. So I'm going to start with the thicker paste, and I've just kept it between the two bags just to stop it from drying out. First of all, I'm going to do a donut, so I'm going to use a round cutter. I'm going to cut that out. I'll just transfer it back into here so it doesn't dry out. And that needs a centre cut out. Just get the round cutters and decide what size centre I'm going to use. Let's use that one, let's use that one. And you can see this paste hasn't been rolled very thin. It's quite thick and it's a bit sticky, so I don't think I need to actually stick it down. Oh, perhaps I do. There we go. Let's put a little bit of water on that. I only put a little bit of water. It just needs to go where it's going to be stuck down. If you put a lot of water, it'll squash out and it will mark your work. So I've got my donut shape. So anything that goes on there needs to be thinner now, because if I just layer it up with the same thickness of paste, it will look very chunky. So I've got a nice thin, so it's rolled. You can see the difference, how thin it is, nice and thin. And I'm going to use, this is actually a Garrett Frill cutter, but any cutter will do. Peel that off. Before I do, I need to cut out to centre, so I'll use that one. I think I'll use this one. So this is the icing on my donut. And that's a little bit of water, not a lot of water, will hold that in place. Tidy that up a bit. So I've now got my icing on top. There we go. So I can put other things on there. I could do eyes. So I've got some white again, because this is going on top. It's rolled out nice and thin. I want 2 eyes. Now I can put those on top, and I can cut some black, cut it out and place it on top of the white. But the only problem with that, it's putting quite a few layers on it. So I'm going to inlay. It's a technique that is where you cut out a section, and then you cut the black. Now that white and black needs to be the same thickness, so then that can be placed inside. So that's inlaying. So where do I want to put the eyes? I think up here. I'm going to have him looking up. So show you that again. Put the white out. So I've got a ring of white. Then with a smaller cutter, I'm going to cut out the hole for the eye. Then I'm going to cut out the black one and fit it inside. It's always nice when you're doing eyes that they don't look straight at you. They need to look up or to the side or look down. But if you have them looking straight ahead, they don't look as appealing. So you can see there that I've got that paste now. That's the same thickness. So that paste is the same thickness and it's called inlaying. Just be careful of any water on your board. I want some eyebrows, so I could use the next size up cutter. Where's that cut? There's cutters one, there we go. So for eyebrows, shall I give them big eyebrows or small eyebrows? I think small ones. So I've got cut out a circle and then cutting out a section of it. There you go, you can see where I've cut it out. And that can go where I want it to go. Okay. So it's a matter of cutting a circle out and then putting the cutter back on but a little bit lower down, so I might end up with that nice shape. And just be careful you don't get too much water everywhere. So I've now got some eyebrows. You can do a mouth in exactly the same way. I'll give him a nice, I'll give him quite a nice size for a mouth. A nice smiley mouth. Okay, so you can see I've got my features already. For the arms, I'm going to use a sharp knife. So arms and legs, I'm going to cut strips. Now, because this is cut out, we want it all to be a cut out. So a cut out is basically cutting out a shape. So rolling your paste and cutting out a shape. If I rolled it into a sausage, that wouldn't be a cut out, that would be modelling. So keeping the two techniques together is so much better. And you can see I'm just cutting out strips of paste for my arms and my legs. Okay. So I then can decide how I want my legs to go. I think I'll just go into open straight out. A little bit of water. Butt it up to the donut. And I'm going to have it where I want it to be. And the next one here. Okay. You can see when I've rolled the paste out, I've really tried to avoid all the icing sugar. So I've brushed off the icing sugar as I've gone along. I'm going to do an arm. And one this side. I'm just going to cut that off at an angle so it butts up to the donut. So now I've got the arms. I've got a number of different colours. So I'm just going to get a cloth and keep my knife clean. Because if I use black sugar paste on my cloth and then try and cut a different colour, I'll transfer the colours to it. So got some nice colours here. So I'm just going to cut up strips to represent the hundreds of thousands. Decorations, and they can be attached. And do the same for the green. And then I can do the same for the yellow. And where I want them to stick, just a little bit of water will hold them in place. So just to give the impression of sprinkles on top of my donut, and put them in different directions. Doesn't matter if they're slightly different sizes. And of course, this paste that I'm putting on top of other paste is thinner. So a lot of things you need to consider when you're doing cutouts. You need to consider the thickness of the paste, where it's going. So you can see the donut itself, the paste is quite thickish. But anything that goes on top is a lot thinner. And just spend a bit of time decorating it. So you can use cutouts for so many different designs. And so many things that go on cakes, birthday cakes, cupcakes would also look nice. So I've got my cutouts there. What else do I need to do? It'd be nice if I give him a little bit of a cupcake, for example. So I could do my frosting. Now these three colours are the same size. So first of all I could do the top of the cupcake. Put the top of the cupcake. I've just got a triangle cutter and the bottom of the cupcake. And I can texture these if I want to, so I could just cut that bottom off. And using the cutter, I can cut the bottom off like so. And then using that little round cutter, I could give myself a cherry on top. So again, inlaying, so I'm cutting it off the top of my cake, and I'm cutting out that cherry to fit in there. So you can do some embossing on it if you want to, or you can just use the back of a knife to make the pattern. So my donut is holding my cake. And then the cherry. So you can see that is all the same thickness, all the same level. I could use the end of a paintbrush and just emboss the cake, just to give a little bit more interest. Okay, I've got cake. I can give my donut a couple of hands. So just cut some circles out. Cut it in half, and I could use that half to make it look like the hand is holding the cupcake. But then I'd need to match it on the other side as well. I could give him feet. Okay. So again a circle, cut in half, do a semicircle, and then placed A little bit of water will hold it. Okay. I'd like to show you now how to do a pizza cutout. So I've chosen 2 cutters. One, it's quite big, so I'm going to cut out the brown, and then I'll bring it a little bit closer so you can see. There we go. I'll just slide this across. And then I'm going to cut out red. Oh, I just need to do that one a little bit smaller, so let's have a look. Let's try this one. That one, yeah. So I'm going to cut out the crust of this pizza. Now this paste is the same thickness, and that's really important. And then I'm going to cut out the tomato base of the pizza, and I'm going to put the 2 together. So you can see there it's the same thickness. I'm then going to cut it into a pizza shape. And you can make a template for this, or you can do it freehand. So I've now got a piece of pizza, and I'll put that on the board. Just make sure there's enough room. Before I stick it down. So placing it first and then sticking down is beneficial because you can make a mistake. And then it's difficult to move things, because if you move it, if I move that red sugar paste, it would leave a stain. There we go. So nice and neat all the time. No icing sugar on top. The same thickness, really important. Cleaning my knife as I go. I'm then going to use the yellow, just get rid of that, for the cheese. So the yellow for the cheese, I needed the same size. So I'm using the same cutter. And just to make sure you get the right shape. Oh, that would be nice, I just thought. It'd be nice if I use this cutter. And I can get a scalloped edge to it to represent the cheese. And put water on top of that. Now you can see this paste is a lot thinner than that one. Stretch it out. So I've got that nice bubbly cheese. And then I could just run my knife along that edge. Okay. So it'd be nice if I perhaps put a little bit of an indent. I could use my paintbrush for this. So give the cheese a little bit of a bubbly look. So I'm embossing it. So I'm embossing a pattern on there. So I've got my pizza. And of course we've got to put a face on it. So let's put some legs on first. So again, don't do a sausage. We need to cut it out. So cut out we're doing. So nice and flat, rolled out, cut out. I'm just going to cut that at an angle so it fits comfortably next to the pizza. And instead of feet on this one, I think I'll just cut it on a V. Again. Cut it as a V. Oops. Now for the, I've just got some red paste in my hand, so I need to clean it up. For the glasses, I think it'd be really nice to have some glasses on. It would look quite cool. I wonder if that would be big enough. Have I got a bigger one? Let me just have a look. I think I might have. There we go. And it's very much trial and error. So if you think, when you cut it out, you go to put it on, you think, is that the right size? Is it not? You can always change it. So we're going to have some big sunglasses. And then using the strips to make the arms of the glasses. On the other side. And again, this paste is a lot thinner. And then I could just use a cutter to get the bridge of the glasses. And cut it roughly to size and place it on. Okay. I think it'd be really nice if I just did a strip of white on there, just so it looks like they got the light, the reflection of the light into his glasses as well. Just going across. One, two, and just cut those off. Keeping your board nice and tidy as you go. You could give him a smiley face. Oh, and put in the arms. Let's give him a few arms. Or 2 arms. So you could see what I was doing there. I positioned it before I cut it. And before I stuck it down. Decide where you want to put them. A little bit of water. And there we go. Nice selection of cutouts. Okay, thank you.